it could be text or it could be code. I mean to say programming code. It could be images or video. It could be even audio. Usually text or code will come under the same category. Okay. And even images and video will come under the same category because video is nothing but stream of images. And audio is a bit difficult, a totally different field altogether. You can see TTS, text to speech or speech to text or speech to speech, this kind of models. But predominantly it is focused on text to code because we have production grade models in it. Slowly we are getting production grade models in audio also, text to speech or speech to text kind of. Almost there, production grade. But images and videos, it will take some more time. So we don't really have production grade. I mean to say business need models that can meet the business needs. That's what I mean to say. So we don't have really production grade models. Even though we can generate images, logos, banners, but those are something not we usually use it in IT industry, finance or HR or retail industry. Those industries, though, they don't use images or videos much. They focus more on text or code. So this is about generative AI, right? So let me explain how this AI all started. So before even getting to AI, let's discuss how machine works. Usually it will have hardware, wherein the hardware can understand only zeros and ones, right? It can understand only zeros, either 0 or 1s. But when it can understand only zeros and ones, the input is going to be in zeros and ones. The output is also going to be in zeros and ones, which is very difficult, right? So if the input is in zeros and ones, the output is in zeros and ones, it is very time-consuming process, and it's very complex to provide input, and it's very complex to interpret the output. So that is when the kernel comes in. Kernel is a kind of software wherein the input, for example, if we provide ls is a command, right? List of items. So it provides all the files and directories in the current directory. We can switch to any other directory too. The point is, we can give a commandlet, something that we can easily understand or something that we can easily enter in the terminal. Terminal is a shell or interface simply. We can see a lot of types of shells, JDSH or Bash or sh shells in Linux and Mac. In Windows, we have command prompt and we have PowerShell, right? Two kinds of shells you can see, and even we have WSH shells. WSH, Windows subsystem for Linux, WSL, wherein we can have Bash shells. But the point is that we not to enter input in zeros and ones, and we not to interpret back the output that we get in zeros and ones. The kernel will make sure that we can give a normal English commands, and we can see the output again in a way that we can easily interpret. Shell is just an interface, right? It provides a bunch of commandlets. That simplifies even more. An application, basically this shell commands or even the bash scripting on top of it, we can write more complex complex code to get a better solution. I mean, to solve more complex problems. So we can write bash scripting also. We can even write C programming language in it when it comes to Linux or any other Unix-based ones. But this is more technical part. I mean, we need to have a lot of technical knowledge in it. The application is basically to meet the need of non-technical person. If you take Google, so you can, let's say, like you want to know what is machine learning. So you can simply enter machine learning. What is machine learning, right? example, what is machine learning? You can simply enter it and you can get the output. So you don't require any technical expertise here. The application itself in the google.com is for a need of meeting the need of non-technical person. But the very application, google.com or any other application, web application you take, it requires a lot of technical knowledge again. So in order to build an application, you need to get expertise in Java stack or MERN or mean or whatever, Pern or whatever, in Ruby on Rails, whatever. The point is, even though in order to meet the need of a non-technical person, the application came into existence, but the very building the application itself is not an easy job. You need a lot of expertise and you need to have backend knowledge, wherein DBAs or SQL developers will take care of it. And you need to manage infra. Of course, even now, managing infra is very essential. Most of the infra management nowadays, it's not on-premise. It's not managed by by your own company or whoever owns the project. Mostly it is in cloud. Someone else manages it. Someone else provides it as a service. You can take it and you can subscribe to that model and you can pay it on monthly basis or weekly basis or whatever. Pay as you go, whatever the model it is. It's completely your choice. Nowadays, most of the infra management switch to cloud instead of on-premise. Right? The point here is that this is how the traditional system works. Wherein hardware, in order to simplify it, we got kernel and shell. Not even more simplify, we got application. But the very application that we are speaking about, it's not easy job to build. At least you need to have 4 to 5 years of experience to build a basic end-to-end application. Right? Nowadays, everything switching to LLM voice. Wherein LLM can take any kind of input. It could be video, it could be audio, it could be text, it could be through any kind of tool. It could be browser or or maybe a terminal or whatever. Even a voice, as I told you that audio and video will all come under this. So wherein usually a human-to-human communication is going to be natural language, whereas a machine-to-human communication is not in natural language because it can understand only zeros and ones, or simplify it even for the kernel, shell, application, and so on and so forth. But the whole system is going to switch towards LLMs or in general, generative AI, wherein machines can start understanding the natural language. That is why most of, IT industry, let's take that, if you take MERN stack itself, or mean, or Java, in olden days, in order to maintain an application, you need to have at least 10 to 20 members, right? Nowadays, it's from 10 to 20 members. It's, they need only 2 to 3 members. Why? Because the AI or generative AI replaces intelligence or knowledge. Basically, we demand more based on our own experience. Suppose if you have 5 years experience, you can demand 15 lakhs. Suppose if you have 10 years of experience, you can demand 25 to even 45 lakhs. But the very experience or knowledge or intelligence being replaced by generative AI. That is the reason most of the people losing their jobs. One second. In future, the whole operating system will get replaced by LLM ways. Just like the way you and I can communicate, we can communicate with machines. Got it? So because right now the systems can't interpret our own language, so we got into this whole stack altogether. But what if machines can start learning, understand our language? or communicate back in a language that we can understand. But we are not we are not completely switched to this kind of system yet. It takes another 20 or 25 years. Right now, we are in the transition phase, wherein the existing traditional system is going to be as it is. But in order to build this application or writing bash scripting or shell scripting, whatever, to manage the existing applications or existing system, we use generative AI. You get the point? So any questions on that? So what is generative AI? How were the system and how is it now? And how is it going to be in next 15 to 25 years? Should I answer all these questions? If you have any questions on top of it, let me know.
Sir, I just wanted to know one thing, that this generative AI, will it be useful for the analytics people?
Yes, we can use it for analytics. Suppose, let's take, can you tell me your stack? When you say data analytics, what is your stack?
Tableau, Power BI, SQL, and Excel.
Tableau, Power BI,
SQL and Excel.
Yeah, it could be Tableau, Power BI, and SQL. We can take it as an alternate, but predominantly it could be for visualization. It could be Tableau. For data cleaning or data engineering part, I mean to say, DAX and all, you can use it Power BI. For simple data dump or data analysis, we can use Excel. In order to reuse the existing, I mean to say, in order to manage data efficiently, we can use SQL, right?
Yes.
What if you want to write a DAX code to clean up a set of data, wherein you have a clear requirement, like this is what you want, right? And you have some dirty data in it. What do? Obviously, you build your own DAX expressions.
Yes, using the Power Query editor and all these things, just to clean up, reshape the data after loading.
So you need to have the complete knowledge about it, right? It's not easy to handle Power BI. It's not as easy as it is in Tableau. But Tableau by itself is a very expensive tool. Per head, I think it is around $1,000 something, and there will be a lot of add-ons, and you need to pay a lot of amount at the end of the month. So it's not an easy thing. But even though the visualization, when it comes to Tableau, nothing can beat either Excel, Power BI, or any application on top of SQL. Nothing can beat Tableau, but it's too expensive. Power BI comparatively less expensive, but it is not easy to manage. Of course, if you have good technical expertise, Power BI is way powerful than Tableau, I can say, especially data cleaning. Or right. So, but the point is that you need to have. You need to have. Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. Please go ahead. Please go ahead, sir.
No, the point is that you need to have a lot of experience. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead with your question.
I was saying that we have a inbuilt tool that is Power Query Editor to reshape the data, just to transform for it. But in Tableau, we have another tool that is Tableau Prep, just to create the flow, just to reshape the data, like removing duplicates, creating flow, and all these things.
Yeah. So basically, the idea is ETL, extract, transform, load, in a way that we can have we can build applications, or we can build SQL queries on top of it. Basically, the dirty data to clean data in a format that we need, right? That's the whole idea behind it. But the whole pipeline is not an easy thing to build. You need to have experience to build this pipeline, perfect pipeline. Whereas we can use generative AI. Let's take that you have some dirty data, take some chunk of data, and you give an example, I mean the sample of output, how the output should be. Right? Some 5 to 10 lines of data, how it has to have. how many columns it has to have, and how it has to clean. So with some prompt. And if you ask to build DAX expression or the whole pipeline, it will build start to end. You can simply copy and paste in PowerBI Editor, and you can run it. That's all. So you don't require that experience anymore. Or if Power BI allows you to use Copilot or any other solution, you can simply write prompt. What is prompt of from? A natural language text. It is not technical. It's non-technical. It's natural language text. So basically, we are moving from technical to non-technical. And you don't require expertise. So if we don't need an experienced person, so from management perspective, so why should they pay you some 20 to 30 lakh per annum? Instead, they can pull up a fresher, right? Management can ask him to learn Power BI in another 3 to 4 months, and they can ask them to use this generative AI solutions. They can simply build end-to-end solution rather than relying on experienced guy. Got it? So earlier, experience matters. Now, experience doesn't matter. It all depends on how well you can utilize the AI, how much less you can demand. That's all. No appraisals anymore. So the whole life cycle, I mean to say, what do you call it as? Life cycle of being in IT in a particular stack, not more than 3 years, I can say, nowadays. You need to keep on learning new tools. It is much, much, much faster. So in order to build a full stack application, you need at least 3 to 6 months. But nowadays, just 1 month is good enough. And moreover, so basically, let's take the full stack itself. Okay, let's take mean. What kind of things you need to build an end-to-end full stack? So front end, back end, I mean to say the server side coding. It could be Node.js or whatever. It could be SQL, I mean to say DB. And then what else you need? You need DevOps engineer. Of course, you need system admin, right? But nowadays, the front end, back end, SQL, DevOps, all being managed by the developer itself with generative AI. And even QA, forgot about QA. The reason why we forgot about QA is completely being replaced by generative AI. If you give code, it has to build both unit testing plus integrated testing of your choice, whatever the tool that you want to use. It can build an end-to-end suite for the whole front end and back end. It includes SQL too. So you don't see QA engineers anymore nowadays. No, I have seen 10 years ago, I have seen a person who got 45 lakh package in Amazon, just being a QA engineer. He had some 7 or 8 years of experience at the time. Nowadays, you don't see QA engineers. Testing part. You get the point? This whole stack being replaced by one generative AI engineer. Of course, you need to have some domain knowledge. Domain knowledge in this particular case, you need to have basics of, you need to learn basics of front end, back end, QA, SQL, and DevOps. You need to be an expert in it. If you know how CI/CD works, if you know how the cloud provider and its services works, and if you know what need to be tested, and if you know the basics of front end and back end, and basics of SQL, that is good enough. So this whole thing being replaced nowadays. I hope you that answers your question. So your question is that can we use that in data analysis, not just in data analysis, data engineering, or front end, I mean to say the web development, QA, SQL development. We used to have specialized SQL developers, and then it switched to complete web developers responsibility. So web developer, not just front end or back end, he need to develop SQL code on its own. It happened 10 years ago itself, and we don't see SQL dedicated developers. It wiped out 10 years ago itself. Now this whole thing, the whole role set, been synced down to one. So one generative engineer plus domain knowledge. That's the reason I said, so it used to be managed by 10 to 20 members. Nowadays got down to 2 to 3 members. That too not just specific to web development. The whole stack of roles. We can very well utilize generative AI in the data analysis. And moreover, the tools itself, tools or services, been replaced with Agentic AI, which is way powerful. Let me give a simple example how that works. Suppose, you can unmute yourself and answer these questions. Let's take that you have a web application wherein you have to build an interface wherein the user can enter a basic mathematical operation. Let's take that a text box wherein you need to, and the user want to enter something like this: 2 plus 3 minus 5 by 8. So how can he build an application that will allow the user to enter this expression? There will be a text box, right? Wherein he need to enter, right? Let's take 2. And then there will be a plus button and there will be an operation. Let's take, there will be a drop down wherein he need to check whether it's plus, minus, or division or multiplication, whatever. Basically, there will be a drop down here. Let's take that here it is plus, right? I'll mention plus. This is a drop down. When you click press, there will be another text box. You will enter 3. There will be another plus, another operation checkbox. Then he need to enter minus here. And then once he enter this plus, there will be another text box. So it's 5. There will be another plus division, right? There will be plus an operation here, so division. And then he enters this 8. Finally, he got the result here, right? Nowadays, it's been replaced with LLM. The input will be provided to LLM. And of course, internally, it uses tools. I'll explain tools later. For now, basically, let's understand that LLM can also utilize tools. Basically, we give input to LLM and we get the output. So a single text box with simple expression like this can handle the whole application. We can build an agent, for plus, minus, division, or whatever. The whole Agentic AI solution can handle any kind of mathematical operation. Got it? Or even he can write a simple expression, something like, add 2 and 3, and then subtract 5, and then divide by 8. We can even write like this. LLMs can understand, wherein this traditional applications almost impossible to feed such input, a natural language input. Got it? So did I answer your question? It's not just data analysis.
Yes, sir. Yes.
It can write SQL code, it can write Databricks, I mean to say Scala or PySpark, or it can be, a Databricks specific SQL code. It can even write R. So that is about data engineering. It can even write DAX whole pipeline. Of course, if it's tool specific, they keep on adding features, but the tools itself, the lifetime so they are not ready to spend anymore on tools because we have Agentic AI, which rapidly replacing tools or services. And moreover, this agentic AI solution, we can build it with Python, right? We can either build with open source LLMs, or it can be a cloud provider model through API, via API, wherein they charge it, let's take charge could be per million tokens. If I show you a page like OpenAI API pricing, look at this API pricing. Here we have model GPT-5 mini or GPT-5 point, which is the latest one. How much they charge? $2.50 per 1 million tokens. Token can be equated to word, not exactly. I don't want to get in details. For now, for sake of simplicity, just imagine that token is nothing but a word. Okay, $2.50 per 1 million tokens. If you want to go for a third-party one through either through a cloud provider or directly by the provider, let's say OpenAI model is available directly from OpenAI, or it can be available in Azure, AWS, or GCP. Usually, most of them prefer through directly from OpenAI or Gemini or Anthropic or whatever. Okay, so even the tools or services lifetime is going to be, another 5 to 6 years. You're not going to see the same set of tools that you see it now. Those who are, well experienced in certain tool, they're not going to have their, jobs in the same tool. Another 5 to 6 years. If you want to survive in IT industry, don't stick to tools. Keep on learning agentic AI or alternative to what you already do with the tools or services, so that you can survive in, even when you lose, even the companies start subscribing to these tools or services. Even if they ask you to build using Python, which is an open source and free, and with an agentic AI kind of solutions, you need to be ready. Even though the answer is a bit long, but I hope you got an idea like how things are right now and how it's going to be. But that answers all most of the questions, right? Why we need to learn generative AI or AI in general? After all, I'm good at Tableau or I'm good at Power BI. So do I need to really learn it, or do I need to really switch to another, a role altogether? I mean to say another stack altogether. Is it really necessary to learn generative AI? All these questions can be answered with the answer that I have just explained. Any other questions on top of it? By the
Damodar,
way,
what is your recommendation? Hi, Damodar. So, what is your
yeah.
recommendation for the QA people or testing people?
So it's already been wiped off. So only 5 to 10% of QA engineers are remained now. So if I give a code, with the help of LM, it can build a whole wrapper on top of this. It can even test it and give us the result in some log file, whatever the file format that you prefer. So it is, no, QA is not a QA engineer's job anymore. It is a web developer's job now.
No, that statement is not 100% correct. But see, whatever you said, maybe that's already happening. But see, what is your recommendation for the QA people? To move further into in the field of AI or generative AI.
So it is better to switch to agentic AI. And moreover, you need to learn the whole stack rather than sticking to QA engineer.
Yeah, in the agentic
So,
AI, so do we have specific roles like developer, admin, or a DevOps engineer, something like that?
So basically, this agentic AI clubs all the traditional roles. The reason why I said QA is almost been wiped out, because it's earlier SQL, we used to have a SQL dedicated SQL developers.
Correct.
And then it completely been wiped out, and the web developers took that responsibility. Nowadays, web developers started learning this QA basics and then start utilizing this generative AI. But they are not in a phase wherein they can build a whole Agentic AI solution on top of it.
Okay. I
So
mean, what
they
are
need
the
to learn
roles?
generative.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
my
What are
question
the roles
is,
actually? Mhm.
generative AI engineer can do two things. One, if they have some, let's say that they have project,
Mhm.
right? Understand the basics of every stack, and with the help of generative AI knowledge, they can handle the whole project. That is one way. Another thing is generative engineering, let's take that they have some 10 projects in a company. So
Okay.
they may not have generative AI knowledge. So you need to be in a position to build agentic AI solution or helping them how to use generative AI tools, or at least Copilot or anti-gravity, a Codex, these sort of tools. Continue or Claude Code.
Okay.
So you don't look at it as a different role altogether now. Except infra management, it is going generative AI or agentic AI based solution is going to club all these roles into one. So I request you
Okay.
to
So there is.
focus either on all the stacks, so that you can build an end-to-end solution. Let's say that the client comes with a requirement. If we give you a requirement, then you need to be in a position to build the entire stack and deploy it to the infra. That's all. Or you should be in a position to give support to all the projects, all the teams, as a generative engineer, whoever don't have knowledge in generative or AI in general. There are two roles, you can play
Okay.
with this knowledge.
So agentic AI engineer is a role. That's it. That's the only role, right?
Generative engineering is the role, and agentic AI is one of the ways to solve the problem.
Okay. So they have to learn the complete stack, right? They have to learn the web development, back end, front end,
As
little bit
as
of.
I told you, that you not to be an expert in web development or whatever. If you want to handle a particular project,
Mhm.
then you can club all these stacks and with the help of generative AI, and you can focus only on that particular project or one or two. The other way is start giving support to multiple projects as generative engineer. Basically, this project, whoever involves in these projects, they may not have AI knowledge. So you're going to be a support for the whole set of teams or projects. Right now, these two roles you can play.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other? Yeah. Go ahead.
So both are same, right? See, there is no separate role like agentic AI engineer, right, Damodar? Or only Gen AI engineer is a role.
No, generative engineering is a role, and the agentic AI is a way to build a solution.
Acha. Okay, okay.
So LLMs are basically generative AI. It's part of generative AI domain, right? So if you have a service, instead of writing the code, you can still write the code, but you replace with LLM. That is an agent. But it is the whole service can't be fulfilled with one agent. It could be multiple agents, agent 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you club all these agents and build a solution, that is agentic AI.
Okay.
A whole stream of whole set of agents. Suppose if addition, I have one agent. Subtraction, I have another agent. Multiplication, I have another agent. I'm just giving a simple example. And the whole set of agents, I need to create a system that it can communicate together, right? It can communicate in sync. That is what the agentic AI is all about. So agentic AI is a way to build agents, a way to build an agentic AI solution, but it's all part of generative AI domain. And again, generative AI is a subdomain of AI. Clear? Or you have any questions on top of it? I think it's Dilip, right? Did I answer your question? You can't see you can't see my screen or what? Ajay? No, it's not audio. I already share my screen, so everyone can able to see my screen, right?
No, I can't see.
What
Yeah,
about
we are
others?
able to see, sir. Yeah, we are able to see, sir.
So looks like some of you have some issue. Only Ajay, I think. I request you to.
Damodar, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
You can hear me, right, Damodar? Sorry for that.
I can hear you. So
So you have answered it. You know, I can see your screen. I can see your screen is visible actually.
I think Ajay and Krishna has some issue. So request you to log off and logging back again.
Okay. Yeah. So even for the generative AI role, like what we need to learn. Like, again, we need to learn data science, Python, everything we need to learn.
So you need, yeah, exactly. So that is, 1 second. Let me open the content. I have PDF here. Yeah, here it is. So what all things that you need to learn? So one, the Python, which is the programming language that we use, and machine learning and deep learning. And N8N is basically a no code or less code solution. You can even learn LangChain and LangGraph if you want to build through code. And AWS is the cloud provider that we are going to discuss in this course. And Cloud Code became a more popular tool nowadays. So we're going to discuss Cloud Code also. So basically it's Python, machine learning, and deep learning. N8N, those who are not comfortable with code, so they can learn N8N. And then we will slowly switch to LangChain, LangGraph, and then we start working with AWS services, especially when it comes to deployment. And then finally, we end up with Cloud Code. So it's going to be around 3.5 months course. So here, if you look at it.
But here also, do we need to claim the experience or whatever the projects that we do here? Is that enough to showcase in the resume?
Yeah, it is enough. In fact, we give more than what is being promised through our curriculum. So we can give you, even more projects if you are really interested in it.
Yeah, suppose after learning this one, if we want to, at the time of applying for the jobs and all, so how we have to showcase companies are expecting some kind of experience, right? So it is understandable that it's a very new, nobody knows, right? It's a very new field altogether. So
yeah, basically, if you provide your resume by the end of the course, basically we ask students to share their resume. We add a generative AI content to their resume. Finally, they are going to edit the resume and then submit it. That is how it works. And when it comes to projects, we're going to have at least 3 to 5 projects end to end. And if you're interested in more projects, we can provide you a max of 100. We have that many projects. So completely, yeah.
So this itself is enough, right? I mean, whatever the projects that we do here, so we don't need to show any experience saying that I have worked as a generative engineer, AI engineering, for the last 2 years, 3 years, something like that, right? No, we don't need to show that. We don't need to say that.
No, this is enough. Basically, what we try to do is we try to touch every use case, at least most of the use cases.
Damodar, this is Ashok. Just basically trying to understand what is the level of experience that we can transform from our existing experience into generative AI if we have to at least claim post, doing all the projects, if we have to claim some experience in the GenAI field.
So I don't know what's your stack is, and I don't know whether you're comfortable with coding or not. If you, my point is, if you are not comfortable with code, no, I can request you to focus on N8N. If you're comfortable with code, please mute yourself.
I'm from QA and then project management and product management background, product delivery.
Okay.
So
So one second. There is some noise from someone. I think it is Dilip. Please mute yourself. Only those who have questions, please unmute
I've
yourself.
already muted actually. I've already muted.
Hello,
yeah, Damodar, Ashok here.
Ashok. Okay, Parshura. 1 second. Please mute yourself. Okay. All right, go ahead. Ashok.
I have around 16 plus years of experience in IT. It started as a assembler, TPF assembler, mainframe assembler developer, and from there moved on to product specialist and QA lead, and then to project management and product. Now handling a product delivery portfolio. So I don't have too much of programming background. Long back I started as a developer, though I was not doing any programming for last maybe 10 years.
Right.
So if I want to learn the course and learn and complete all the projects and transform some of my experience into GenAI, what would be the level that I can be, and how much of my experience can be transformed into a generative AI world?
So what I can say is, by the end of this course, you gain 2 years of real-time AI experience. And as you told you that initially you were a programmer, but you lost touch on programming. So I request you to focus on N8N. Even without coding, you can build generative AI or agentic AI solutions with this N8N. And one more thing, that nowadays coding is not mandatory. Even with a simple prompt, you can build code. Suppose here I have built the whole code by sitting right from morning with just prompts with natural text. Of course, there will be some errors. It is not one-shot solution. So I need to keep on, going through code. I need to check errors. I need to check bugs, and then keep posting it. So if it suggests anything in the code, I need to be in a position to do it on my own. In some case, it will not do it automatically. So you have to manually do it. I need to have some knowledge on this. So you not to be an expert in programming. Even if you are not completely comfortable in coding, as you said, so you can focus on N8N. But switching, I don't know the exact environments unless if you come up with a project with some system design and start working together, I can't really say how much you can really implement. But with this course, you can gain 2 years of real-time experience. With or without coding, you can build agentic AI solutions. I mean, generative AI solutions. And one more thing that you have to learn is AWS environment, AWS ecosystem, wherein it's not just building the agentic AI solution, you need to deploy it. There are various ways to do it. So we will see various scenarios. When it comes to system design from generative AI perspective, so what we basically try to do is, so here you can see Google Translate, right? Text to text. A chatbot, of course, it's text to text, but it's for casual, or it can be if we go for a professional one, we go for RAG-based solutions. Even we have a RAG-based project with complete design. So I mean, it's a system design, right from. Let me show you this. Right from client requirement to how to frame that non-technical requirement to technical requirement, and then we need to focus on data, and then model development, and then sampling, and then evaluating the model pre and post phases. I mean to say pre-training model phase and post deployment, and then overall system requirement, other things that you can improve. So we try to touch various use cases. That's the best we can do. It's not just code-based solutions. Even non-code-based solutions like N8N, using tools like N8N, we can deliver it. That's the best we can do. But how you can implement it, again, it depends on what's your requirement and how, what kind of, I mean to say, what's your system design been implemented in your project, how we can turn that into from traditional system to generative AI, I mean agentic AI based solution. Unless I work with you for a month or two, I can't really speak about it. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, at a high level,
Yeah.
you know, if you are not pro in coding, but if you have basic understanding with the level of training that we're going to get from this course, we will be able to use that knowledge and build the solutions, end-to-end solutions with a limited understanding on the coding as well. Is that a correct understanding?
Yes, but you need to have basic knowledge about that. Like let's take that you want to work on React. At least you need to have basic knowledge on React. Or let's take that you want to use Next.js framework, right, for React. So you need to have basic knowledge about React and Next.js. So let's say that you want to build APIs using Flask. You need to have basic knowledge about Flask or Django or any other one. Let's say that you have a Java application for end-to-end which has already been built. You want to use generative AI solution being implemented in Java stack. You need to be in a position to build API, something that you can expose to backend developers of Java so that they can utilize it in their backend. So you need to have that system design knowledge, and you need to have, whatever the domain that you work, the stack that you work, you need to have basic knowledge about it. That doesn't take much time.
And apart from complementing the existing projects or ongoing work that the teams are doing, as an individual contributor, can a GenAI engineer build end-to-end solutions?
Yeah.
Only using GenAI technology, not depending on any of the stack that is available, whatever Mon stack or React, all of that. Only using the GenAI tools, can a GenAI engineer build end-to-end solutions?
We can build and we cannot build. There are two things. The problem is that, so any LLM you take, right? If you give prompt, so I'm just giving a vague answer, kind of both side view. I'm trying to give you it on LLM. There are limitations on its own, even generative AI. Let's say that you give a prompt and you got a response, right? Basically, in one response, you're not going to get end-to-end solution. Again, you get prompt. It could be a bug fix or whatever, or enhancements or whatever. Again, you get response. You're going to keep on doing it, isn't it? The problem is that the LLM itself will have memory. Once it reaches its own limits, once it exceeds that limit, the problem is that it starts giving wrong answers, as if it knows, as if it is right. But then you'll get into the loop if you don't really catch those errors. If you don't understand the limitations of LLM, then you're going to get into that loop, wherein the loop will take you to nowhere. I mean, you're not going to get any kind of solution. In fact, you start getting wrong solutions. You're going to keep going away from what you really need. Got it? So the point is that I'm not going to say with zero knowledge you're going to build end-to-end solution. You have to have basic knowledge, which doesn't take much time. That's my point. If you understand how this framework works, you need to spend 2 or 3 months. If you keep doing for 2 to 3 projects, then the very knowledge that you have gone through in those 2 to 3 projects is going to be helpful, as long as it follows the same pattern. So LLM has its own limitations. I'm not going to say LLM will produce end-to-end solution without any issues. LLM will give answers in a certain, once it exceeds that memory limitations, what happens is it gives an answer, it convinces you as if it is right, even though it's wrong. You should be in a position to handle it. It is like riding a horse. It may go wrong or right, but it should be in a position to handle it. That's exactly what generative is all about. Got it?
Yeah, clear. Thank you. And one more thing, sorry, before I close. Are you going to cover multi-agents as well, like one agent triggering another agent to perform some action, something like that?
in real time, it is not possible to handle with just one agent. We need to have multiple agents. I have given an example, right? Plus, minus, I have given a simple example. Here we need one agent for addition, another agent for minus, or another for division, whatever. So basically, in real time, it's all about multi-agent. It's not about one agent, one solution. It is not possible to implement a single agent solutions. Basically, the problem is that, so one agent, if it is another agent, interact with another agent, if it is sequential, basically we can use LangChain. There's a library called LangChain. Whereas what if it is something like this? An if condition. That is when the Lang graph comes in. So for multi-agent solutions, we use Lang graph rather than LangChain. Again, of course, we can build LangChain solution for multi-agent. The point is that it's not sequential in real time. So it is not just about single agent versus multi-agent. It's about how the whole design is going to be. Got it? So your perspective is just agent, single agent versus multi-agent. It is not possible to implement real-world solutions with single agent. Even if you have multi-agent solution, it is not possible to solve with something that is only in sequential manner. You need to design it properly, intelligently. That's when the Lang graph comes in.
Okay,
right?
Clear. Thank you. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Damodar, one question.
Yeah.
One question from my side. Damodar, we were talking about the stack like Python and AWS, Cloud AD, we were discussing about it. So are we going to learn these things during the course, or we have already need to carry, the information and the knowledge about these courses when we are going to join this one?
Yeah, so we will start with the operators when it comes to Python. So right on day one, we will discuss about how to set up the environment, not the complete stack, because based on the requirement, we need to build those environments. It's not the same environment for every project or every requirement. So we usually initially have the basic setup, and then we will start with Python. So we'll start with basic operators. And we'll discuss the almost a week or 10 days on, we'll focus on Python itself almost 7 to 10 days. The point is that we will learn the basics of Python, but we are not going to discuss DSA, data structures and algorithms. Got it? So we don't teach you how to build the logic using Python, but we will teach you Python, and then we will move on to mathematics and statistics, and then we'll discuss machine learning and then deep learning. And then we'll get into, instead of going to code directly, we'll go get into N8N so that you can understand how to build a project, a multi-agent solutions, generative AI or agentic AI solutions. And then we'll get into LangChain and Lang graph. And then we'll start discussing with AWS. One thing that is missing in this one is we are not going to teach you DSA, data structures and algorithms. If we add DSA, it's going to be too expensive for those who, and I mean, right now it is 30K. So it's going to be too expensive, and moreover, it's going to take 6 months of time. And moreover, DSA relevance is gradually reducing because of these tools. So it's not as much required as it was 4 or 5 years ago. Got it? So this is what we teach you, and the things that we don't teach you are clearly opened up on that.
Yeah, hi, Damodar.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you going to teach the RAG also? I have heard about the AI, one of the two.
Yeah,
RAG.
so yeah, here as I told you that we will try to cover as many use cases as possible. Here, if you look at this, it's retrieval augmented generation. So a RAG is nothing but retrieval augmented generation. So we are going to have that too. If you look at this, it's Google text to text, smart compose, image captioning, right? And then here we have text to image and text to video also. Even though this is not production grade, something that you can implement in production, but most of it, that's something that you can implement in production are going to be on LLMs, large language models. text to text. But we cover RAG also here. Here we have RAG too.
One more thing. Yeah. What are the job roles will be after completing this course? So what kind of job role will be there? Like AI engineer, or I have seen a lot of AI opening here. So what kind of job role we can apply after completing this course?
Generative AI engineer. And
Generative engineer.
yeah, someone asked that I clearly explained, almost taking 10 minutes of time. So I told you that generative, what kind of role that you can play, right? Generative engineer role, generative engineer, there are two roles basically that you can play. One, handling a whole project end to end, or providing support to a whole set of teams who works on various tracks. But basically you can apply for generative engineer roles. That's the point.
So we are going to use a AI to give the solution to the other companies, other products.
Other teams.
So like other teams.
Yeah, because when you say other organizations, other companies, I don't know whether it is technical or non-technical, right?
Yeah, okay. So
Again,
I have
the
around
requirement changes.
okay. I have 8 years of experience in overall IT, and currently I was working as a front-end developer, as you told, React.js. So currently I was working on it. So so what will be this course will be useful for me for the next career growth for me as a front-end developer. The
So
next
it's
growth.
going, yeah, thing is that you can suppose, let's take, I don't know what's your stack. So when you say front end, what is the stack?
React.js.
So what is the framework? React framework.
Or like Java Spring Boot. And framework I just working in Next.js.
Okay.
In React.
So use Next.js, React, and maybe you're going to use Tailwind and all, right?
Yeah.
So
Tailwind for
whatever,
CSS.
yeah, suppose let's say that you have another project wherein they use Vue or some other stack, right? Or maybe vanilla JavaScript. So you can handle it with generative AI. But the point is that it is better to quickly learn the backend also. If you're already an expert in
Yeah,
front
that's
end.
what I'm thinking. So I know backend few things like MySQL, PHP, .NET. I used to work at previous company, not right now, but I know backend also. I have the basic to intermediate knowledge I have. So what
when
I
I say,
was thinking.
yeah, when I say backend, it's not just DB. I mean to say the server side coding.
Server side coding, yeah, like PHP.NET. I used to work. I was used to work create APIs kind of things.
Right.
That was thing you were asking, right? Yeah, that is I have knowledge, but right now I'm not doing that. So what I was thinking, so we can create the web application using AI, and we can give the solution to the like the particular can be any team or any products, right?
You can provide it. Someone I think Ashok asked this question, even though I think he's from QA background, but the same answer can be applied to front-end developers or back-end developers. The point is that you can build solution using AI, but it has its own limitations. Without basic knowledge, you can know the product will quickly run out of your hands because AI has its own limitations.
Yeah. So we are using a LLM to create the AI tools like that. So we are going to create the AI applications, right?
Exactly.
To
So
use
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there are two things. One is research and development, right? That is one phase. Then other one is application side. When I say application side, in the sense application of the models that it's been generated. So we're not going to learn this research and development, even though we get into details, intricacies of it. And let's take transformer architecture. So we're going to get in detail about transformer architecture. But we're not going to focus on research and development, wherein they focused on building models right from scratch. Whereas our job is to utilize the existing models, whether it could be on-premise or in the cloud, or through API, or through open source models like Hugging Face. So basically, we will come under application side, not research and development. Suppose you already have a model. The point is that the client comes up with requirement and he doesn't know what is an AI and he needs some agentic AI solution. I mean, he may not even use the term agentic AI or AI in general. Something that the client requirement can be very much fulfilled with AI. So you should be in a position to utilize the models, existing models, or through API, whatever, and can deliver the solution. That's the point. So we are going to focus on this part, not on this part. Usually research and development, you need to learn C, C++ again, C++ or Java. Whereas application side, we are going to use Python. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. So one more thing. So currently the AI is going to be advanced. When I saw the OpenClaw and Claude Cowork, so this is how it is going to be affect. I mean, are we going to work on these tools also?
We're going to
Like
work on
first,
Claude. Yeah, we're going to work on Claude Code, but OpenClaw is not part of our curriculum yet. But we're going to work on Claude Code, AWS, N8N. So basically, my point is that the reason why I drafted that curriculum is the tools that we use it in production right now, not something that can be or could be used in production later. So all these tools that we discussed are in fact being implemented right in production.
yeah, okay, I understood. Because it is
Because there are too many
recently.
tools. There are too many tools that you can be overwhelmed with. Like it's going to overwhelm. You can see the 100 stacks, 100 ways of building agentic AI solutions. You should not learn all
Yeah,
the tools. So you have to learn only those tools or methods wherein we really use it in production.
okay. My doubt was, for example, OpenClaw is also one of the AI tool. So
Right.
are we can able to create those that kind of tools by using our generative AI?
We can build, but it's going to be very time-consuming process. Let's take that recently Claude Code, with the help of Claude Code, I think they spent around $20,000 or something. I don't remember, and I think $2 lakh something. What they did is they built a C++ compiler. Of course, we can do it, but what is the need of it? The point is that you're not going to focus on C research and development. We're going to focus on the application side of it. As of course, we can build it. But how? What is the cost involved in it? That matters around whether we really required or not. The client requirement at the end is not about compilers or whether we can build libraries or frameworks right from scratch. That is not the point. So we are going to utilize the existing ones. There are two tools or services that are more reliable. Not anything and everything that comes into the market.
Yeah, okay. So whatever the applications, Swiggy, Zomato, and Amazon, so these kind of applications, everything. So we are going to give some solution for them. For example, you need any automation booking kind of thing. I heard from the Google. So we can do the automation booking daily morning 7 o'clock. I want to book the milk packet like that. We can able to create the script like in the N8N. Just I saw
Yes.
here the kind of automation kind of we can able to do, and every day we can read the email and clean up the spam emails and those kind of things we have to we can able to do it in the N8N, right? So those
We
that is
can do it with
but,
yeah, we can do it with N8N, and there are multiple alternatives to it. We can even do with LangChain or LangGraph too. But N8N is a no-code solution, so anyone can pull up the component and sequence. We can create a flow without much difficulty.
okay, but this code is coder for also, right? Both. But here coding is a main in this course. That is
So,
also
but
needed.
the point is that if you have a solution N8N, you can easily turn that into code. But I can't promise you the code that it can turn, the N8N solution, the project that you have in hand. If you can utilize any kind of tool like anti-gravity or Claude code, we can turn it into code that may or may not work as much as it was in N8N. Again, you need to put some effort. You need to make some enhancement, that's all. But you can easily turn code to N8N and N8N into code. Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
If you have an
So-
N8N project, existing project, you can easily turn into a code LangChain or LangGraph solution. And the same way, code to N8N also is possible.
Okay, we can make it no code. We can do the automation kind of things.
Yeah,
You're
but
telling, right?
yeah, right. With one prompt, you're not going to. It's not going to be possible with this one. You need to put some effort, but you can do it.
Okay. Yeah. So we have a lot to.
Yeah,
Please,
go
yeah,
ahead.
please continue.
Can I just ask a couple of questions, please?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so we talked about building AI solutions, correct? So is it possible to build AI solution without using any code, without coding?
Yeah, we can. So that's exactly what this N8N is for. So this
Okay,
is a
but
low code or no code. Yeah.
Right, but you say N8N, it will still develop the code in the background if you create a workflow. Is that
Not
so?
not exactly, but it's basically a no code component based solution. But can we have as much flexibility as with code? Obviously not. As long as we have that particular component, we can build it. What if it doesn't have? Basically, we will have more flexibility with code than with no code solutions. That's
Okay.
the point. So,
So
we
I'm-
can,
yeah, so I'm actually data architect, data warehouse builder. So, for building a data warehouse, we need the ETL, ELT, we take the data, we apply all the rules and also we can do the same just by using the AI.
we can do that, but the point over there was not just, workflow. Even parallel processing matters over there. So it depends on how well you design the system. So we
Which
can build
system?
the solution. No,
The
you
AI,
said
the AI system?
yeah, you're speaking about data engineering or data analysis part, right? Let's take data engineering. So we can build solution with AI, whatever you do it in traditional tools. The point
Okay.
is not just about building the solution with AI. Another major problem with data engineering is the parallel processing. Suppose if you go with Databricks. Why you go with Databricks when you have Python? Because you can easily create clusters over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to create your own cluster here. So you don't have a Databricks kind of solution wherein you can build a parallel processing cluster. I mean a cluster, and then you can start, implementing AI solution in it. You have to have your own system in place. Let's take AWS. You have to have your own parallel processing system wherein you're not going to get Databricks over there. So you can build AI solution, but you need to intelligently build that AI system design. That is one bottleneck over there.
I'm not going to lie. I don't really understand. But, okay, we have a Snowflake. Okay. So we have a lot of data in the clouds. Okay. So right now, yeah, we have a ELT process,
Okay.
a lot of transformation, then,
Okay.
aggregation, transformation, all that. Can the AI replace the whole thing? Whole
Yes,
system that we have? Yeah.
Yeah, AI replaces the whole ELT solution pipeline.
Okay, it can if you design the AI properly.
Yeah, we can replace the whole ELT solution with AI pipeline, and in fact, it's going to be more intelligent than the traditional ELT.
Yeah, that's what they say. It can do a lot more. It can answer a lot more questions than what currently, we are able to answer, right? Because it can dig into the data. I don't know how. Yeah, I'm just new to the AI. I don't know how it does it, but that's what I want to learn.
So the bottleneck here is the parallel processing. Right now, data engineering is still in the hands of Databricks. I mean, there are a lot of other tools, but still we use Databricks because we can have a cluster over there. Whereas for AI-based solution, you need to build your own. It is not just about solution here. It is about how much time it takes. Whereas for data engineering, most of them, they use Databricks. Reason for that is the cluster, parallel processing. So wherein this is something that you have to implement on your own. If you go with AI based solution for ELT for the whole pipeline, even though it's much intelligent than the traditional one, but this is something that you have to address on your own.
So hypothetically, Databricks and generative AI, those skills, do they complement each other? Like if I go into the market and say that, oh, I have Databricks, or I also have generative AI experience, is there a value to that resume?
Definitely going to add value to your resume. The point is that, so right now, every tool that includes Databricks, they come up with their own AI features. So you can easily write code with built-in AI feature within the Databricks itself. But can we build an agentic AI solution? Obviously not.
Right.
Right. The problem is
so
that,
so Databricks has limited AI features, right?
exactly, because they want to limit intentionally. They don't want to make it. So suppose if they allow you to build agentic AI solution, after all, why do we need to use Databricks there?
Right.
So that is why. So the major problem and the major reason why we use Databricks is not really with the code. It is because we can easily build a cluster. What if you don't have Databricks? Then you have to have Hadoop cluster. Then you have to use Hive or Scoop. So traditional tools. Basically, it is going to provide by various providers and you need to club all together. That's how things were. Then Databricks simplified the whole thing. And Databricks itself, they have limited AI features. They are not they intentionally confined to certain set of features. They don't want to expand it too much, because if they expand it too much, then the very reason why they create Databricks is going to be lost. So we can build AI-based solution, but the one bottleneck with AI is that we don't have any tool as such wherein you can build agentic AI solution with parallel processing with ease, like in the case of Databricks. Something that you have to build on your own. Of course, we can build with AWS.
Got it. Just I don't want to take up too much of your time. Just last question. So must we learn the machine learning and also the data sciences for for becoming an AI engineer?
Okay, so the point is that machine learning makes you to learn the basics. So you have to spend at least a week, but you should not spend too much on it.
Okay, just to get an idea then.
Exactly. So because that's a kind of backbone. And then, so once you learn machine learning, then deep learning, will become more simplified. But can we, directly jump to deep learning? Yes, of course we can. Can we directly jump to generative AI without machine learning or deep learning? Yes, of course we can. But there are certain things that you can't answer it, especially in interviews or certain things that you dig deeper. That's the only bottleneck. Otherwise, even without machine learning, you can directly jump to deep learning. Even without deep learning, you can directly jump to generative AI.
About the data structures and algorithms.
Data structures and algorithms is not part of this course. Data structures and algorithms is totally different.
But right, but do we need it? For this profile of generative engineer.
If you have expertise in data structures and algorithms, it will be definitely going to add a lot of value. But right now, with the kind of tools that we have, data structures and algorithms demand gradually, reduce. In fact, Elon Musk made a statement by the end of this year. In order to know anything about programming. So the value that it's going to add, being an expert in DSA, at some 4 or 5 years ago, or even 10 years ago, No, it's not going to be there after a year or two. So you may not even know, not even to know what is DSA. Still, you can build solutions. But can it still be relevant? Yes. In my opinion, it's going to be relevant for next 4-5 years. So you can do one thing. You can do one thing. So once once I teach you Python, so I will give some 70 to 100 programming codes, like for practicing. So that will make you to get hands-on on building the logic.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you were asking something.
Maybe this may be a silly question, but are there really, prompt engineering jobs in US right now? I never explored, but I heard some people say there are prompt engineering jobs whose job is to train the LLMs.
See, the prompt engineering is not about training models. So if you have LLM model, existing model, basically you provide prompt to it, right? A simple text, wherein it gives response. So prompt engineering is about how well you wrap this prompt.
But to what end? I thought the goal is to train the LLM, train the models, right?
No, it's not about training the model. Prompting is not about training the model. You will usually, with the tag prompt engineering, they include this.
Right. Okay.
They include this part too. Yeah.
So basically, prompt engineering is like a user of the model.
Exactly. So how well you wrap this text or prompt so that you will get the effective response. The problem is that, let's take that you got the LLM model access through API, right? As I showed you earlier, it has its own price, right? $2.50 per 1 million tokens. So if you don't write an effective prompt, so what will happen? Obviously, you're not going to get the right response. You need to keep on doing it. So no, instead of costing you some $1,000, it will cost you $10,000. That is when the prompt engineers come into picture. So to write an effective prompts.
So prompt engineering is like the SQL developer in the olden days then, because the business users, they didn't know the SQL, so they had to depend on the SQL, programmers to write a query and get the data. So prompt engineering is going to be like that. But I thought the whole idea behind AI is the business users can simply access the AI and get the answers to the question they have. There's
Yes,
going to
of
be
course.
again dependence on the semi-technical people to actually prompt and get the response, then email the results to the users who is asking for that info. Is it going to be like that?
Suppose if the workflow is complex, so if it is a simple question and answer, of course, user can write a prompt. But how effective the result is going to be depends on how well they write prompt. Sometimes they get the right response, sometimes they may not. So it's going to sometimes it's going to be very frustrating. But if it is a complex workflow, like so I need response, and then this need to be converted to certain format, and that need to be email. So for this, workflow is right thing. So it's not something that they can simply write a prompt and get a solution for it. So they need N8N or some code-based solution for that. For that, again, we need Agentic AI solution.
Okay. Thank you, Damodar. Yeah.
Okay. So any other questions? So for curriculum, so VLRtraining.com. So I'll simply search VLR training in Google. VLRtraining.com, click on that. And if you scroll down, so here you have Generative AI, right? Here, click on that. Here, if you have, here, this is the contact number. And here is the course content. So the one that I have shown you here, and entire thing been available right here itself. So you can see that Python, and then statistics, mathematics, machine learning, and deep learning. And then we will go get into N8N. I think some 4 or 5 blocks of four sections of N8N, and then we'll get into LangChain and LangGraph along with AWS. Finally, we will get into the deployment and other things, and the Claude code is going to be at the end. Of course, we are going to discuss MCP, Claude code, the Claude environment. Apart from it, the deployment matters a lot. So it's not just using the model. It's not just about building agentic AI solution. You need to know how, you need to understand the various formats of deployment, various forms of deployment. Suppose, let's say that you have an API. There are multiple ways to deploy API itself, right? So you can use either Lambda function or directly implement using EKS solutions. Depends on, workload that you're going to have. Either, sometimes you go, basically there are three kinds of solutions, right? IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. You need to learn these three things. How to build your own infrastructure, or how to utilize the existing products in the cloud, or how to use software as a service. So based on the budget, you need to decide which one is the right one. So deployment is not as easy as it appears to be. It's way too complex. But again, most of the work is going to focus on how you deploy and what the client requirement is and how much he can afford. Right? So I hope I have given enough overview about generative AI or agentic AI. This includes MCP also. Apart from it, includes, we're going to discuss AWS ecosystem. We're not going to touch the Google or GCP or Azure, Microsoft Azure. So we're going to focus on one cloud provider, AWS, because most of the production code is in AWS itself. And finally, we will come up with Claude code, something that can't be handled with anti-gravity, Google IDEs of solutions or OpenAI solution. The Claude code can solve many problems. It can handle more complex problems than anti-gravity or OpenAI solutions. So Claude code is must. Even though we can discuss anti-gravity and continue, which is an open source solution, but we're going to focus more on Claude code, right? So if you still have questions, let me know.
Claude code is an IDE on its own, or it is going to get integrated into VS Code?
We can either use Claude code as with an IDE that the Claude provides, Anthropic provides, or you can integrate with Visual Code also. We can do both. Basically, predominantly what they do is they provide their own IDE, or we can integrate with other tools, something that Claude code does, and they provide CLI also solution. Sometimes we are not going to have any graphical user interface. That's when the CLI comes into picture. Terminal based kind of.
You'll be able to cover both?
Yeah, we'll cover both. Predominantly, we focus on IDEs because in most of the case, even though we have non-graphical user interface systems, we will have one centralized system for development, right? That is when we usually have that as a graphical user interface. We focus more on graphical user interface, but we will touch CLI also.
The integration with VS Code as well.
What is that?
The integration inside VS Code as well.
Yeah, VS Code in Claude code inside VS Code. Yes, we're going to discuss it.
Okay, thank you.
But I'm speaking about CLI. CLI is totally different, a terminal-based kind of.
Yeah, I understand.
Not reduce surface areas. Usually, they completely wipe out this graphical user interface part, right? That is when the whole problem comes in. So you need to completely rely on CLI, but it's not as flexible as the graphical user interface.
Sure.
Yeah.
One more thing, as this course is purely designed on AWS tech stack, I would like to understand, would you be able to give us a high-level understanding what are the equivalent products in other clouds like Azure and Google as well? I'm not
I
looking
will,
at training. I'm just giving looking at a high level understanding. What are the equivalent products in other clouds?
I'll do one thing, even though I haven't prepared that material, but I will prepare the material in a way that whatever the process that we do, the system design, I will take the system design with an alternative solution in GCP and Azure. And the same system design. Maybe 2 or 3 may help you.
That would be helpful. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so I will work on that. And in chat, you have 2 things. One is course content link. Another one is WhatsApp community link. And you have the contact number of Venkat sir also from VLR. Right? So another 2 to 3 sessions are going to be free. So you can attend it. So tomorrow we are going to discuss the initial setup. And if time permits, we will start Python basics. And then we will have another 1 or 2 sessions on Python basics. The total 2 to 3 sessions are going to be free. So you can attend and then you can take a call.
Same giant link.
Yeah, the same link. You can utilize the same meeting link, what has been shared today.
Is it the same time every day, 8 p.m. IST?
Yes, it's 8 p.m. IST.
1
Monday to
hour?
Friday. Yeah, 1.5.
Okay.
Today it's been almost 1 hour 38 minutes, right? Sometimes it's no O spills like 30 or 40 minutes. That's fine. The point is that meeting the requirement, right? So as long as answer your questions, as long as you understand the concept, that's fine to spend another half an hour or 40 minutes. But you need to prepare yourself for an additional 30 to 40 minutes. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, hope my voice is loud and clear.
Yeah, you're audible. Go ahead.
Yeah, I am not from IT background. I don't know anything about software, SDLC, software development life cycle. How this course is going to help me?
So if you are completely new to IT industry and you want to get into IT industry, Generative is definitely a good stack that you can pick. But thing is that you can focus only on N8N. The concepts are going to be a bit in depth, something that you have to put a lot of effort. I'm not going to say that's going to be easy. So even for those who are into IT industry, they need to spend a lot of time, especially mathematics, statistics, or if we go in detail, let's take the transformer architecture. Most of the models that we can see it here are based on transformer architecture. What if a question been asked in an interview about transformer architecture? So we are going to go in depth, but the very in-depth explanation may require another 4 or 5 days you to spend and practice. So you need to put more effort than others, but we are not going to have any presumption before we take up any concept, except the concept that we discuss in the live session.
Okay, and you demonstrated very clearly how many people, how the roles are evolving in IT industry because of AI. Like why there are less coders now. You explained, you demonstrated very clearly. Now there are again some more roles like Scrum Master, Business Analyst. What about such roles? Even these roles are also going to get replaced by AI, or how it is going to help them AI?
So that Scrum Master and all this project management.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not into that part yet. So I don't know what kind of requirement they have and how Agentic AI is going to replace. But anything that is repetitive in nature can be automated. Anything that can be automated, Agentic AI solution can play a major role. I'm not going to say everything can be, generative AI can be used anywhere and anywhere, anything and on anywhere, but the point is that we can automate a lot of stuff with Agentic AI solutions.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, anything else?
So Damodar, you're confident that if we complete the training and if we put in our work, we will be like a good generative AI engineer?
You gain 2 years of real-time experience. That is something that I can assure you. But so the only thing that you have to do is you need to repeat it 2 to 3 times. Let's say that we had a session, the same demo session. Take a notes. It will take another 2 to 3 hours to prepare notes and go through it again and again. And again, you will see in next 2 to 3 sessions, right? Then you will get a glance of how it's going to be. The point is that you need to repeat it. You need to spend another 2 to 3 hours every day, Monday to Friday, and we'll have weekend sessions too. But something that will inform it prior.
And we'll definitely make use of them because I think we have to make use of the statistics, right?
Yeah.
When we design an AI solution.
So mathematics statistics is part of the course. If you look at the
Right.
curriculum, statistics and mathematics is part of the course. We are going to have a week of sessions on mathematics and statistics, especially when we discuss with machine learning. So for our recent batch, so we started mathematics and statistics. It's been almost 3 sessions. So they already touched this machine learning now. I have given an assignment to them. So it will take a week sessions on mathematics statistics, but it is essential for machine learning perspective. When it comes to generative AI, especially the architecture part, the transformer architecture and all, you need to be good at mathematics, something that we will discuss it in the course itself. Let's take positional encoding, right?
So end of the course, we will be able to build something like ChatGPT, a very small scale version where we can enter a prompt and we get the response. That is the goal.
So no, that's not the goal, but we will definitely discuss end-to-end solution on how to build an LLM. But that's not going to be production grade, but it's a very small scale, as I said. But that is not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is application side of generative AI. So how to utilize the existing models and how to fulfill the client's needs. That is the focus.
Yeah.
Just by learning and just by building a small scale large language model does not help you to provide solutions to clients' needs, clients' requirements.
Yeah, I mean the client requirements, they vary from project to project, from client to client.
That is why we discuss various use case, right? Let's take that image captioning, RAG. So we discuss various use cases. So we'll go through at least 10 projects, but end to end, it's going to be 3 to 5 projects.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome. So any other questions?
Sir, I have a 8 years of career gap. After completion of this course, I get a job as a fresher.
It depends. I don't know whether they're going to take it or not. So you need to convince them by giving a reason. Say that you started a business or something. If you give a valid reason and you want to start it again, I don't know. It completely individual choice. Organization choice. Some organizations prefer such people. Some organizations don't.
Okay. Thank you.
So I can't really speak about it.
Okay. Thank you.
Contact Venkat sir. Maybe he can give you suggestions on how to start back again in IT industry.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks.
Today and tomorrow and day after tomorrow, join link will be same. If you want this recording, I am sharing my WhatsApp community link in our group chat. Okay, please join on that group. I will share today recording and tomorrow recording like that. If you have any queries, please contact me. Our course cost is 30K. That is fixed, and the duration is 3 months.
One second, sir. So someone asked whether NumPy and Pandas is going to be covered. So NumPy and Pandas, we used to take dedicated sessions on NumPy and Pandas. Now we will share previous recordings But NumPy and Pandas, we will discuss when and then it's necessary. When and there it's necessary. So we are not going to have dedicated session on NumPy and Pandas. Right? So we will share the the previous recordings. We'll share all the material to you. But we'll discuss only, in live sessions, we'll discuss only when and then it's necessary. Methods, whatever. So we are not going to dedicate session on NumPy and Pandas. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
That is the thing, sir. Tomorrow and after tomorrow, channel will be same. Our course cost is 30K, 30,000 hours, and duration is 3 months. Everyday sessions we have evening 8 p.m. IST, Monday to Friday. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, if you don't
So
have any questions, you can log. Yeah, go ahead.
I am in the section, sir.
Okay, so if you don't have any questions, you can log off, or else you can hold on. You can still ask questions. All right. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.